1-866-929-1950. Remember, 1-866-929-1950. Rates and availability may vary by state. Sample rate quotes for preferred non-tobacco underwriting. Exam required to qualify.
Hey, Chad here from the Sports Drive. Another exciting weekend in college football. There will be no fake national title for my UCF Knights this year. Georgia feeling the excitement between the hedges, barking late in a victory against Notre Dame. Hey, this time Florida State doesn't blow a second-half lead. The Gus Bus rolls out a victory for Auburn. Kyle Trask looks good in a Florida victory in the Swamp. Alabama LSU continue to roll. The Argos getting it done 69-0. And in the NFL, the Saints won't be the Aints with Teddy Bridgewater. Sports Drive 5 to 7 right here on ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM.
As a single mom here in Santa Rosa County, I'm voting for the penny tax because my son will have a better community to grow up in. From the YMCA and parks to recreation and bike paths, he will have a safe place to be a boy. For a safe and fun childhood for your kids and mine, please vote for the penny on October 8th. This penny will replace the current half-penny tax and will end in 10 years. Please vote for the penny on October 8th.
Political ad paid for by Moving Santa Rosa Forward.
Calling all Gator fans. Time to get down and dirty in the Swamp.
Tony to the end zone, caught, touchdown! Here comes Reverso, and the Gators win! Jordan Matthews is a postseason hero!
ESPN Pensacola 1330 FM 99.1 brings you Go Gators every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Go Gators on ESPN Pensacola 1330 FM 99.1. Brought to you by the Holman Law Firm.
Football season has arrived, and ESPN Pensacola 1330 AM 99.1 FM is where the action is. Bringing your high school football every Friday night, UWF football on Saturdays, and the NFL on Sundays. If you would like to partner with ESPN Pensacola as a sponsor or promotional partner, give us a call at 262-6000.
ESPN Pensacola 1330 AM 99.1 FM. WEBY Milton, Pensacola.
The following has been produced by Talk Football LLC. Former Florida Gators quarterback, NFL quarterback, and NFL head coach. Coach K. Stevenson has a resume second to none, and now he's sharing his insider information with you. Talk Football with Coach K starts right now on ESPN Pensacola.
Happy Football Friday. Welcome into the program, ESPN Pensacola 1330 99.1 FM. I'm Joe Ford, and he is Coach K. Stevenson with you every weekday, noon to 1, and it's our favorite day of the week, yours too. Friday, a football Friday. A lot to get to today, making all of our game picks for the NFL and college football weekends. And one of the more entertaining Thursday night games that we can remember, the Philadelphia Eagles, as we both correctly predicted, beat the Green Bay Packers last night. A lot of injuries. Davante Adams, a couple of really nasty injuries to the head, neck area we'll get into as well. But the Eagles get it done, do what they need to do to get back to 500 on the season. Coach, how are you today? Happy Friday.
I'm doing well, Joe. Good to be with you.
A lot of good stuff to get to today, so, Coach, let's get right into it here. We both thought that the Eagles would get it done, and the Packers there towards the end had a chance to tie the game, perhaps send it into overtime. Rodgers throws for over 400 yards, couple of touchdowns. Did not have Davante Adams on that final drive. Looks like possible turf toe, and it's an injury that Julio Jones has had in the past, some high-profile wide receivers, and Coach, this is an injury that typically seems to hang around for a while.
I've had to deal with it with receivers primarily, and it does hang around, unfortunately. It is a bear to get rid of, and it's totally different now than a sprained ankle or anything like that. And hot water and cold water baths and so on just don't do the same for it. It takes a while. You're right.
So Davante Adams, pretty much a career night for him. He had 10 catches for 180 yards, no touchdowns, but again, not looking good as far as the turf toe injury. After the game, he was meeting with reporters with his shoe in hand, saying that he was in too much pain didn't even want to bother trying to get the shoe on over that foot. So tough break there for the Packers. We'll see if Devontae Adams is going to be out for an extended period of time. Talking about the game, though, Coach, again, we both thought that the Eagles would get it done, 34-27. Much had been made about the Packers' defense through their first 3 wins of the season, but I know that teams had success in the first part of the season running the football against the Packers, and the Eagles, with their outstanding offensive line, really took advantage of mismatches all over the defensive front.
So many interesting things about this ball game, but my gosh, did they run the football. They ran the football the way every team would like to be able to run it. Now, there's some deficiencies there that have to be addressed by the Packers. But nobody expected Philadelphia or anybody else to come out and run the football like that on them. And Wentz did a good job of controlling what he had to control, and they won a big, huge game for Philadelphia. Would have hurt them probably worse than just about anybody had they lost that game. It would have been bad. But it was a big win for them, and I'm really shocked, to be honest with you, at how they dominated that line of scrimmage. I know they're good. We've said that all along. But they truly dominated the line of scrimmage.
And the other, I guess, main takeaway from last night, and you hate to see it, but you just understand that these are the risks that are associated with the game. A couple of really violent collisions. You had Jamal Williams go down in the first half, and then a defensive back for the Eagles went out off on the stretcher as well. And it's interesting in this day and age, especially with channels like the Red Zone channel. If you have the Sunday Ticket, you don't really have you do. You really have the option to kind of go back and forth between games. You have the option to really just park it on the Red Zone channel, and they'll just kind of whip you around the league. And really, you don't, if you don't want to, you don't really have to see things like this happen, and especially just the wait for it, and really could be kind of jarring. The players were especially affected there, huddled around praying on the field in those 2 instances. Derek Barnett with the first hit there on Jamal Williams, not likely to be suspended, could possibly be fined, and then in the Eagles player who was injured, just a case of friendly fire there. But I made the comment yesterday, Coach, as I was watching that game. We've talked before about teams, and it seems like it's an epidemic where really just poor technique in terms of tackling, and the Philadelphia Eagles were penalized quite a bit with the helmet-to-helmet contact, the face mask. It just didn't seem like defensively the Eagles did a great job of tackling. Didn't do a great job of really that technique that football players are taught from an early age. It was pretty evident last night, I thought.
Well, what football players have been taught in the recent past was not what you were taught years ago. We were taught, we used to teach people, and we, right up until recently, look them in the eye and butt them in the teeth, meaning you put your headgear right in their mouth. Okay, that was the way that you get the most out of it, to reduce your opponent and get down the middle. It also was an aiming point to get down the middle for good blocks, okay? Also for tackles, you get down the middle. Now, the thing you have to realize is that football is not a contact sport. Dancing is a contact sport. Football is a collision sport. And things like that are going to happen. They're going to be, when you're flying around like these kids were flying around, and I know listening to the hype for this ball game, both teams were really up for this game. There was an emotional edge to both teams, especially Philadelphia. So they're flying around out there, and they're not always going to be in the perfect position, Joe. you say, well, gosh, I wish he'd gotten his shoulder down around their knees, or around their legs, instead of his hat to their chin or their head or whatever. But you can't help it. So those things are going to happen, and I understand it. I don't think either one was malicious. Don't think it was intended to harm or injure, but it happens in the game of football. That's the game of football, and that's why, quite honestly, that's one reason people like it.
Some of the other news and notes from around the NFL. Of course, we said yesterday, we mentioned it before. Don't really need a whole lot of discussion here, but Anthony Lynn, head coach of the LA Chargers, saying that once Melvin Gordon is up to speed, he will be the team starter moving forward. Saying, quote, "He was our starter for a reason. He likes the way Austin Eckler and Justin Jackson have been working. They've done an excellent job. They will still have a major role in this offense, but Melvin will be the number one guy." So, more so for fantasy footballers, if you have Melvin Gordon or the other two guys there, it seems like wouldn't be surprised to see more of a committee approach there, as Eckler and Jackson have performed pretty well in the absence of Melvin Gordon. Looking at college football, Coach, some of the key storylines that we'll be following. Of course, it's an opportunity for Nebraska to make a statement in year 2 of Scott Frost. They haven't looked that great early on. They're around a 17-point underdog at home to Ohio State. Ohio State, the past couple of years, they've lost road games to inferior opponents in Purdue and Iowa. This year, the Nebraska fans, the stadium, one of those stadiums where college football fans should want to get to see a game there at least once in their lifetime, and it's going to be a raucous environment. The odds that you see Scott Frost and the Nebraska Cornhuskers being able to pull an upset here on Saturday night?
I think an upset is entirely possible. Not probable, but possible. I just think Ohio State is on a roll. I think they're tremendously aware of exactly what you just talked about. The trip to Iowa last year, or year before last, and how they've come up short on a couple of games they should have won. So anyway, as we pick the games, we'll talk about who we're going to take there. But I just cannot see Ohio State having a letdown here.
The other big game in the SEC, 2:30, or I'm sorry, it's an evening game, but Auburn. Well, there's two really. Auburn and Mississippi State doing battle. Coach, on the Sports Drive last night, we caught up with Pat Dye. And I asked Pat about, did he see this as a kind of a trap game, just given the fact that it's kind of sandwiched in between two marquee games for Auburn. Of course, last week against Texas A&M, next week against Florida, and of course they still have Georgia and Alabama still to go. He said no, primarily because Mississippi State was a team that was able to beat them last year, and that he just felt that Gus Malzahn has the guys where they want him playing exceptionally well, especially on the defensive side. But that one will be interesting. Auburn, a home favorite of around 10 points. But as you said, Mississippi State's always going to have a good defense. So two outstanding defenses we'll get a chance to see on Saturday night. And anything could happen.
I would agree with a lot of what Dye said. But I would disagree about this being a trap game, because I think it is. It's ideally positioned to be that trap game that can get you. And Mississippi State is not going to back up from anybody. So they're in for a heck of a fight. Now, they may look behind them and they may look down the road, but they better be ready to buckle it up in Auburn Saturday night, because Mississippi State's going to come hunting bear.
Oh, we'll take a timeout, come back, get started with our picks for the weekend. We'll also announce the winner for the pair of Florida State tickets, so stay tuned for that. It's Talk Football with Coach K, ESPN.
One other thing, when we come back, our text will give them the text is now working. We have a an email site to get their picks in, and we'll have all that information for you again. So be prepared for that so we can get this done for you guys.
Absolutely. All right, we'll take a break. Back in a moment.
I'm attorney Stephen Luongo with Levin, Papantonio, Thomas, Mitchell, Rafferty, and Proctor in Pensacola, Florida. Distracted driving is a dangerous epidemic on America's roadways. In 2016 alone, over 3,000 people were killed in motor vehicle crashes involving distracted drivers. This according to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. For more information, please visit us today online at levinlaw.com. Please be safe on the roadways. Stop the text, stop the wrecks.
When you're looking for a great deal on a reliable new or certified pre-owned vehicle, you can't beat Bob Tyler Toyota in Car City, Pensacola. Bob Tyler Toyota has the best selection in town at incredible low prices. You can check out their amazing inventory from Camrys to Tundra trucks to 4Runners. It's all at Bob Tyler Toyota, and you can find it online at bobtylertoyota.com. Also score a touchdown this football season with the car of your dreams. Again, it's only at Bob Tyler Toyota in Car City, Pensacola.
Don't drop the ball this football season. Make Tom Thumb your game day destination. We are your first round pick for snacks, chips, dips, and drinks. Are you tailgating before the game? Don't get blindsided. Head to Tom Thumb for all your supplies. Score big savings with our rewards card. You'll earn 4 fuel points for every dollar spent in store. From hot dogs and buns to ice and propane, Tom Thumb has you covered to help you enjoy the game. For the ultimate game day, team up with Tom Thumb, the local store for local champions.
Hello, sports fans. Miles Bentley here, General Manager at Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Pensacola. Growing up, I always loved sports. Nothing but net, out of the park, through the uprights. Sink the puck Bentley, that was me. But my love of the game couldn't beat my love for Pensacola and helping folks get on the road of dreams in a new Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Sure, I never went to the big leagues in sport, but we're all pro here at Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Proud to be in Pensacola.
Sometimes your bank, your family, and your friends love you, but they don't have the money to help you. Sometimes we have chances to make money, but the old saying, you've got to have money to make money, rings true. At Pensacola Specialty Pond, we can help. If you have trucks, heavy equipment, airplanes, boats, jet skis, anything with value, Pensacola Specialty Pond can loan you that short-term money you need. No credit checks, and at Pensacola Specialty Pond, you're going to find the money and the discretion you need.
Now at 6428 Pensacola Boulevard, north of Car City. Call 432-9050, 432-9050.
I'm a lawn guy and proud of it. Pro tip, watch the fall leaves. When that first bad boy drops, boom, get feeding and seeding with Scott's. Lay down Scott's Turf Builder today, and come spring, your lawn will be so thick, green, and strong, neighbors like Steve over there will be mad green with envy.
Hey, sweet lawn, Stevie.
Steve.
Don't be a Steve. Be a lawn guy. Pick up a bag of Scott's Turf Builder today. This is a Scott's Yard.
Golic and Wingo.
A different host from ESPN Radio from around the country is going to make their pick in our Survivor Pool.
This is Davis Allen from ESPN Pensacola, and my pick for the Golic and Wingo Survivor Pool is Kansas City over the Jacksonville Jaguars.
That might be the toughest game on the board week 1, and Pensacola is swinging with Hall of Famer Patrick Mahomes.
5 to 9 every weekday morning. ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM.
You're listening to Pensacola's local and ESPN sports station. Your favorite ESPN radio shows, plus high school and UWF Argo football. ESPN Pensacola 1330.
ESPN Pensacola 1330, 99.1 FM. Happy Football Friday. Talk football with Coach K. ESPN Pensacola 1330, 99.1 FM. Congratulations to Taylor Edwards. He's taken home a pair of Florida State tickets for their game tomorrow against NC State. So congratulations to him. And also Charlie Goodyear, the winner of the tickets for the Sports Drive. He was announced yesterday as the winner. So, again, every week that Florida State has a home game, we'll be giving away a couple of pairs of tickets to the Florida State game for that particular week. So, if you haven't won yet, keep calling in when you hear the Tomahawk, the war chant, and we'll see what we can do to get you a pair of tickets to the remainder of Florida State's home game. So, again, Taylor Edwards, congratulations on winning the pair of tickets to Florida State, NC State. Also, $25 gift certificate to Calvert's can be yours. We have a pick'em contest where you can make your picks either via text or email. The text is the same as the studio line, 623-1330. The list of games can be found on our ESPN Pensacola Facebook page on the pin post there that you'll see at the very top. And if you want to text those in, great. Or if you want to email those in, the email address is listed in the post as well. So you can text your picks in, or you can email your picks in. And the winner will get a $25 gift certificate to Calvert's in the Heights. Coach, I haven't been there yet. I know you have, but a lot of good stuff there. They've got the Sunday ticket, a lot of TVs for college football Saturday or NFL Sunday.
Yeah, and that NFL ticket is significant because you can, any game you want to see, and they've got a lot of TVs there, so that's it. But the food, the service is outstanding, and I'm sure that anybody that goes there is going to enjoy it. All I've heard is excellent. What I've had there has been outstanding, so we're just happy to have them on.
Well, next month, my wife and I are celebrating our one-year anniversary, so we're actually going to London. So I'm going to go to London. I'm going to get all the British food I can. Then I'm going to come back, and I'm going to compare it with Calvert's, and then I'll be the definitive jury as it relates to the authenticity. But I'm sure I believe the family that owns it. I mean, they're from London. I believe. Or they're somewhere in the UK. I think I've heard that.
I don't know. Maybe.
Okay.
I really
but I know
don't
there's a connection with the UK. So British style. Food, pub-type atmosphere. So, again, Calvert's, thanks so much for providing the gift certificates to give away to you guys. Again, you can text your picks or email us those. There's 4 college games, 4 NFL games that you can pick, and the winner will get a $25 gift certificate to Calvert's. So, with that being said, let's get into the picks for week number 4 of the NFL season. Coach, we'll start with the noon window games. The Tennessee Titans, a disappointing 1-2 on the year. Also a disappointing 1-2 team, the Atlanta Falcons, at home and favored by 4.
Yeah, you got to go with the Falcons here and give the 4 points. And listen, it's just a matter of time. They do anything defensively, they're gonna be in there.
I'm not sure there's 2 teams in the National Football League that I trust less than the Titans and the Falcons. I have no idea which way this is shaking out. I'm going to give the Falcons the benefit of the doubt being at home. I'll take them to cover here as well. One of the better early games, we hope, will be the New England Patriots at the Buffalo Bills. The Bills 3-0, the Patriots 3-0, a chance to maybe not take control of the division, but at least have a game up. You would think that if the Patriots win here, that they're smooth sailing all the way through. But hey, if the Bills can get it done, they beat the Patriots last year on a Monday night in Buffalo, so it's not completely unheard of. Coach, the Patriots are a road favorite, 7-point spread.
Yeah, it's a lot of points for the to give up in Buffalo, but even though I really think Buffalo's playing well. They're playing extremely well defensively. Their quarterback is playing better. They're running the ball well. They're doing all the things you have to do to win. But the Patriots are the Patriots. And I got to go with them and give up the points here. I think the Patriots win and cover.
I'm going to pick the Patriots to win. I don't think that I'm going to take them to cover, though. I will take the points here. And Buffalo covers a 7-point spread. Their defense is good, specifically their rush defense, and they have good corners as well. This feels to me like the Patriots will, kind of take control late, but I wouldn't be surprised if this is one of the more lower-scoring games in the early window there. I'll take the Bills to cover, but the Patriots will win.
I think one other point here. One other point is Belichick and Brady and whomever, they're going to realize this is the best team they've played.
Yeah.
The best situation to get a loss in. So they're gonna up their game.
The Kansas City Chiefs, for the first time in Patrick Mahomes' career, are playing in a domed stadium. They're in Detroit taking on the Lions. The Chiefs 3-0, the Lions 2-0-1. Matt Patricia, he's a defensive mind, the longtime defensive coordinator for Bill Belichick. The Kansas City Chiefs favored on the road 6.5 points, and the odds makers are expecting a lot of points here. 54.5 is the over-under as well.
Well, I would, yeah, they are expecting a lot. They're expecting Kansas City to light it up. I don't think that's going to happen. I'm going to take Detroit and the points here.
I'm going to pick Kansas City to cover. I like what the Lions have been able to do so far. I just think the Chiefs are too talented on offense. I'll pick them to win by at least a touchdown on the road. The Indianapolis Colts are at home, taking on the Oakland Raiders, who are 1-2. The Colts 2-1, and they are favored by 6.5.
Yeah, I like the Colts here. I like the football team. Of course, I'm very prejudiced regarding their coach, Frank Reich. So I like the Colts, and I like the Colts to cover.
I agree with you there. The Raiders, I see this thing going south pretty quickly. I think it's already started. I just don't think they have the firepower necessary to get a win on the road. I'm going to pick the Colts to win by a touchdown here as well. The LA Chargers are on the road taking on the Miami Dolphins. The spread 15.5 points. Dolphins favored. No, Chargers favored.
Yeah, Chargers blew one last week. They're going to. I think they're going to play. They're going to win it and cover.
Nothing more needs to be said. I'm with you there 100% of the way. The Washington Redskins traveling to East Rutherford, New Jersey to take on the New York Giants. Giants are without Saquon Barkley. What will their offense look like? Daniel Jones now in his second career start, and they're favored at home by 3.
You know, this is going to be one of the more interesting games. Interest from the standpoint of how each team approaches and how they play it. It would be very, very easy to take Washington and the 3 points here. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to take the Giants and give the 3. I think the Giants win a big home opener here.
I could see that as well. I've got no argument with that. Will be interesting to see how much longer. I think the big storyline about this one, because I know there was word coming out this week that Dwayne Haskins has started to get some first-team reps for the Redskins. So maybe we're looking at the Haskins era if Daniel Snyder pushes for it enough. So maybe that throws a wrench into things, but I think the Giants will get it done. This is, I believe, one of the premier games of the weekend. The Cleveland Browns in a very tricky situation here at 1-2. Maybe similar to the Eagles, so much expected out of them early on, and they are traveling to Baltimore to take on a Ravens team favored by 6.5.
I'll tell you what, I think this will be one of the real dog fights, if you will. I think the Ravens, that's their mentality, Baltimore, and they want to get you down in the dirt, play on the mat, if you will, and you gotta think them they're at Baltimore.
They are.
I gotta take Baltimore here. I just think this is a key game for them.
I'm going to take Baltimore as well. I think I'm going to give the points though. I think the Browns will cover. I think the Ravens win this game by around 3 to 4 points here. The Browns secondary was very beat up a week ago. They played the Rams with their entire starting secondary missing. I don't know how many of those guys are back this year if they're going to have the full strength in the secondary, but the Browns' defense is built on the pass rush. The Ravens have the best running game possibly in the National Football League. I think they're going to rely on the running game heavily, so it'll keep the score down, but I think the Ravens will win by around 3 to 4 or 5 points, somewhere in there, so I'll take the Browns to cover the 6.5 points. The Carolina Panthers taking on the Houston Texans in Houston. 4-point spread here. Texans are favored at home.
I am going to take Carolina and Kyle Allen. I like what this kid has done. He's been a winning quarterback since high school. He was a 5-star quarterback coming out of high school with Texas A&M. I just really think they're a little better football team than people give them credit for. And I think the Texans have been very lucky to win those 2 ball games they've won. Extremely lucky. I think Carolina goes in and wins this one.
Yeah, the Texans, again, one of those teams, I believe the margin of victory or defeat in their losses is less than 10 points combined for the season. They could easily be 0-3 just as easily as they could be 3-0. With that being said, I'm going to take the home team here, and I'm going to take the better of the 2 quarterbacks. I think Deshaun Watson will do enough. He showed what he's capable of in the Saints loss, and especially last week against the LA Chargers in leading them to a big road win there. So I'm going to take the Houston Texans to cover the 4-point spread at home. The 3 o'clock games, the LA Rams are hosting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Rams are favored by 9.5 points at home.
I think the Rams break loose this week at home. They've been a little down. They're going to show their people that hey, we are for real and we're going to be there. I think the Rams win it big.
This could be one of those ugly Jameis Winston type games. He can be so hot, he can be so cold. Mike Evans broke out last week. I think he had 3 touchdowns in the game. The Rams are going to key on him, and I just don't think that the Buccaneers have enough firepower to keep up. I will pick the Rams here as well to cover. I think they'll win by 10 or more. The Seattle Seahawks traveling to Glendale, Arizona to take on the Cardinals, looking for their first win. Seahawks, you would have to think, looking to get back on track after a disappointing loss against the Saints at home. They're favored on the road by 5.5 points.
Yeah, you got to take Seattle here, especially after that loss last week. I think they rebound, win this ball game, and cover.
I'm going to take the Seahawks as well. I've really liked what I've seen out of the Cardinals offense. Kyler Murray is a rookie. He's making plenty of rookie mistakes, but I think he's also showing that he really belongs. But I think the Russell Wilson show will get it done. I'm going to take the Seattle Seahawks to cover. Coach, if there's one thing that I know about you, it's that you are going to be tuned into this game. The Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears. We think this is the best division in football. The Vikings are 2-1. The Bears are 2-1. Mitchell Trubisky looked pretty good. It was the Redskins, yes, now a much tougher task against the Vikings defense. But the Bears are at home, and they're favored by 2.
I am going to take Minnesota. I like Minnesota top to bottom, and I've been through this before, so I won't do it again. But I like them just a little bit better than Bears. I like the Bears' defense. I really do, and really appreciate, even though I had some doubts early in the year about his maturity, but I have to give credit to Trubisky. Came on, played a lot better. But still, I like Minnesota in this one.
Well, it's been said about Kirk Cousins, especially against teams with a playoff pedigree or even winning records, and I think this is going to be a big test for him. The Vikings have done so well because they've been so lethal with their running game. Dalvin Cook, 57 carries thus far, 375 yards, and 4 touchdowns. The Bears are going to key on Dalvin Cook. They have the front seven to neutralize him. So this is a Kirk Cousins-type game to me, and for that reason, I'm taking the Chicago Bears to win at home. The Jacksonville Jaguars, many think they could be better, should be better than what their 1-2 record says. They got the win last Thursday night. Gardner Minshew the story of the season thus far for Jacksonville. Not expecting Jalen Ramsey to play. He's away from the team due to the birth of his second child. The Denver Broncos are 3-point favorites at home.
I like Jacksonville. I think at some point Denver's going to either have to turn around to some extent, or they're going to look at a shambles going down the latter half of the season. But I don't think this is the week because of the defense that Jacksonville can put up, and I like the way Minshew is playing right now. It's move the chains. It's a style of offense that is perfectly, Joe, suited to their defense. Couldn't be better. So they have the combination right now. Denver, I don't know whether they know whether they're fish or fowl.
Yeah.
So they certainly don't have the combination. I think Jacksonville has it right now. So I like, for that reason, I like Jacksonville. And the best thing they could do for that football team is make sure that Jalen Ramsey stays home, doesn't come back.
The Gardner Minshew train is rolling, and I'm not going to get off until it stops. Good defense, steady quarterback play, and healthy dose of Leonard Fournette here. I'm going to take the Jaguars to win as well on the road. The Sunday night game, the Dallas Cowboys traveling to New Orleans to take on the Saints. The Cowboys favored by 2.5 points. We saw what the Saints are capable of even without Drew Brees. Teddy Bridgewater's not going to make many mistakes. He's going to get the ball into his playmakers' hands. Will it be enough, though, to overcome a Dallas Cowboy offense that seems just really in sync right now?
Well, you're right about that, and it's tough to pick against Dallas. But I just think the magic of New Orleans.
Yeah.
Sunday night game at home. They're going to bear down more so. They can get more juice right now than Dallas can get, is what I'm saying. And that crowd is going to certainly give them some impetus. So I'm going to take New Orleans in an upset.
I'm going to take the Cowboys. I've said a lot about Kellen Moore, the way that he is game planning, the way that he's calling the plays here. He's getting everybody involved. You're going to see a healthy dose of Ezekiel Elliott. You're going to see Michael Gallup. You're going to see Amari Cooper. Dak Prescott's going to make plenty of plays as well. I'm going to take Dallas to win on the road. And there's a look at the Sunday games there. So we got a lot of agreements, a lot of disagreements there, what we think is going to happen. But, again, should be an outstanding weekend. Top games, Coach, I asked you this a week ago. I'm going to ask you again. If there's only 2 or 3 games that that the wife says no more than 3 games this weekend, I'm guessing the Patriots and the Bills. I mean, that has to be one of them. But you've also got the Vikings, Bears. You've got the Cowboys, Saints. A lot of good options on Sunday.
Yeah, you probably named them there. I'm going to watch the Patriots play, whoever they play.
Yeah.
And then there's a reason for that from a coaching standpoint and a familiarity standpoint. But I think the Saints and the Cowboys, and also, yeah, you named them. You named them. So
yeah. Well, there you go. Those are our NFL picks for week number 4. We'll take a look at the big college games next and make our picks there as well. Don't go anywhere. Talk football with Coach K, ESPN Pensacola 1330, 99.1 FM.
I'm attorney Stephen Luongo with Levin, Papantonio, Thomas, Mitchell, Rafferty, and Proctor in Pensacola, Florida. Distracted driving is a dangerous epidemic on America's roadways. In 2016 alone, over 3,000 people were killed in motor vehicle crashes involving distracted drivers. This according to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. For more information, please visit us today online at levinlaw.com. Please be safe on the roadways. Stop the text. Stop the wrecks.
When you're looking for a great deal on a reliable new or certified pre-owned vehicle, you can't beat Bob Tyler Toyota in Car City, Pensacola. Bob Tyler Toyota has the best selection in town at incredible low prices. You can check out their amazing inventory from Camrys to Tundra trucks to 4Runners. It's all at Bob Tyler Toyota, and you can find it online at bobtylertoyota.com. Also score a touchdown this football season with the car of your dreams. Again, it's only at Bob Tyler Toyota in Car City, Pensacola.
Don't drop the ball this football season. Make Tom Thumb your game day destination. We are your first round pick for snacks, chips, dips, and drinks. Are you tailgating before the game? Don't get blindsided. Head to Tom Thumb for all your supplies. Score big savings with our rewards card. You'll earn 4 fuel points for every dollar spent in store. From hot dogs and buns to ice and propane, Tom Thumb has you covered to help you enjoy the game. For the ultimate game day, team up with Tom Thumb, the local store for local champions.
Hello, sports fans. Miles Bentley here, General Manager at Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Pensacola. Growing up, I always loved sports. Nothing but net, out of the park, through the uprights. Sink the puck, Bentley, that was me. But my love of the game couldn't beat my love for Pensacola and helping folks get on the road of dreams in a new Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Sure, I never went to the big leagues in sport, but we're all pro here at Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Proud to be in Pensacola.
An Epix original series. He's a legend, Bumpy. From the co-creator of Narcos and executive music director Swizz Beatz.
What we gonna do, Bump? Get loud and boisterous.
Inspired by the story of infamous crime boss Bumpy Johnson.
Times have changed. I haven't. Bumpy Johnson is a criminal.
There's one thing that you didn't count on. Me. Hallelujah, I'm the driver. This is our war of independence.
Forrest Whitaker is
Harlem is mine.
Godfather of Harlem. Series premiere Sunday. Epix. Get the channel or get the app.
It's happening. Wherever plays are being made, tickets are being sold, and fans are lining up. ADP is designing a better way to work. With industry-leading HR, talent, time, benefits, and payroll, more companies rely on ADP than any other HR partner to help step up their game. From small business to global enterprise. See how ADP can help you and your people achieve what you're working for at design.adp.com. ADP, always designing for people.
You're listening to Pensacola's local and ESPN sports station. Your favorite ESPN radio shows, plus high school and UWF Argo football. ESPN Pensacola 1330.
ESPN Pensacola 1330, 99.1 FM. Talk football with Coach K. Joe Ford and Coach K with you each and every weekday, noon to 1. And Friday's our favorite day of the week because we get to make our picks for all of the top games from around the country. Last segment we looked at our NFL picks, and now we'll dive deep into college football. Again, just want to remind you that as we make our picks, we also are giving you an opportunity to make picks for 8 games every weekend, 4 college and 4 NFL. And those picks are posted on our ESPN Pensacola Facebook page. So visit there. And then the first post that you'll see, we have pinned it to the top, is the instructions on how you can submit those picks. There's an email address that you can make those picks to. You can also text us if you want to, 623-1330. So either way, we will accept. So 4 college games, 4 NFL games. One of the games we have specified to make a final score prediction in case of a tiebreaker. So that'll help us decide who is the winner each and every week. Calvert's giving away a $25 gift certificate each and every week that we're doing this. So a chance for you guys to show off your prognostication each and every week. So that being said, let's dive into some of the big college football games from around the weekend, Coach. And it's our favorite time of the week. And a couple of games featuring ranked teams coming up tonight. Penn State and Maryland, the Big Ten getting into the Friday night party. This game's in College Park. Maryland's 2-1. Penn State, 12th ranked team in the country, at 3-0. Penn State is favored on the road by 6.5 points.
Well, not that I have a lot of faith in Penn State because I think they blow a lot of ball games.
You just have less in Maryland?
I have less in Maryland, and Penn State, quite frankly, should just out-talent Maryland, period.
Taking them to cover?
Yeah, I'm going to take them to
All
cover
right.
on this.
Arizona State and the Fighting Herm Edwards doing a battle in the Pac-12. 15th-ranked California came away from a win against Ole Miss last week. They're now 4-0 in the country, 4-0 on the season, 15th-ranked team in the country. Arizona State 3-1. Big win on the road against Michigan State. Cal favored by 4 on the road. That game's tonight on ESPN as well.
You know, I'm gonna take Herm Edwards on that, and they're at home.
It's in Berkeley.
Oh, it's in
Berkeley.
Berkeley.
At Cal.
Oh, it's in Cal. Okay, I'm sorry. But I'm still going to take Herm. I think this is one of the games that they had circled that they feel like they can win and should win.
I like it. Saturday, the big game, College Game Day is going to be there. Number 5 Ohio State takes on Nebraska in Lincoln. 5th-ranked Ohio State favored on the road by 17 points against Scott Frost and the Huskers.
Okay, I'm going to take Nebraska and the points, the 17 points. I think Ohio State's going to win the ball game, but it'll be closer than 17 points. I think Nebraska's going to play them tough, really tough.
Yeah, I can see that absolutely. I mean, for as strong as Ohio State's looked, they really haven't played a marquee opponent yet. They've played Indiana on the road, and that's about it. So this will be the first true test that Ohio State has, but this is one that they've been looking forward to all offseason. I'm going to pick Ohio State to cover here. I don't think it's going to be a 40 to 50 point win, but I think they'll win by at least 3 touchdowns on the road. Another game in the SEC rather, Arkansas at home. No, I'm sorry. This is a neutral site game. Texas A&M, 23rd ranked team in the country, reeling a bit, 2-2. Arkansas also 2-2, but I think we could certainly agree that both teams are at different stages of the program development. A&M favored by 23.5.
Yeah, it looks like A&M's going to have a chance to really break loose this week, and they're on the verge, and I project that they will.
I agree. I think A&M covers as well. Possibly an upset alert type game. ACC 18th ranked Virginia taking on Notre Dame, checking in at number 10. This game's at Notre Dame, 2:30 start time. Notre Dame favored over the Cavaliers by 11.5.
I think Notre Dame rebounds big, and they're not going to let Virginia sneak up on them. They've got this one as a must-win to bounce back and get their season, keep their season in order. So Notre Dame wins it.
I'm going to pick Notre Dame to win. Bit too one-dimensional for my liking. I think Virginia's pretty decent football team. They have a dual-threat quarterback. If you're a fan of Florida State, you got to see them a couple of weeks ago. I just don't know if I trust Notre Dame enough. Now, why not? I'll take them to cover. I think they'll win by 2 touchdowns. Another game featuring ranked opponents in the Pac-12. 21 ranked USC traveling to 17th ranked Washington. Washington favored by 10.5 at home.
Wow, that's a big line there for anybody playing Southern Cal right now. Southern Cal, I think, is playing exceptionally well for their coach. I really do. I think he's doing a good job. But this Washington football team interests me. They have an outstanding quarterback there.
Yeah.
And he's playing well and is capable of maybe even playing better. So, and I love the coaching there at Washington. I just think they've got a couple of things that really keep you tuned into their progress. I'm going to say Washington wins at home and they cover.
Matt Fink making his first career start for USC. Keaton Slovis was ruled out of the game. He was a true freshman who took over for JT Daniels. He's looked pretty good, but Matt Fink has had some opportunity to serve in a backup capacity, but we haven't seen him start a football game. So for that reason, I'm going to take Washington to cover at home. In the SEC, Mississippi State on the road against Auburn. Auburn favored by 10 points. And what, Coach, you're saying, I've also said this is the quintessential trap-type game for Auburn here, sandwiched between Texas A&M and Florida. So favored by 10 at home.
Yeah, I'm going to have to take Mississippi State and the 10 points. I think Auburn will find a way to sneak this ball game out, but I truly believe this is a trap game. I mean, if you set up the parameters for what is a trap game, what do you what should you be warned about most? And here you just had to get ready for a Texas A&M team on the road, and now you got Florida coming up on the road.
Yeah.
And in between, you got Mississippi State. Now, I don't care how much they talk to these kids 18, 19 years old, 20 years old, and they're trying to bang it through their head that this is a tough football team. They're going to be after you and this good, They don't want to hear that. They really don't want to hear that. I know this about players. It is very, very difficult to get them up. That's why I say these trap games are extremely dangerous, and when you go putting 10 and 12 points on it, it makes it even more dangerous.
Now, Coach, you just convinced me. I'm going to take Mississippi State to cover as well. Again, I think Auburn wins and keeps their undefeated season alive. And really, I just hope they're undefeated because I want to see two undefeated teams next week, Auburn and Florida, doing battle. Out of the ACC, NC State 3-1. Florida State is 2-2. Florida State back home, and they are favored by 6.5 points in this one.
NC State has played extremely well last year, and this year I was very impressed with NC State last year, especially some of their players that played exceptionally well. I'm going to take North Carolina State on this and the points.
Oh, okay. I'm going to pick Florida State. I don't feel terribly confident with that, but I like the momentum that they were able to kind of get some traction against Louisville. The run defense shut Louisville down. So I'm just going off the momentum. I don't think James Blackman's going to play, but clearly Alex Hornibrook has brought some positive energy and momentum to the Seminoles. So I'm going to take them to win by at least a touchdown and cover. Over in the SEC, this one should be one of the more closer games on the schedule. It's a 6:30 start time on the SEC network. Kentucky 2-2 traveling to Columbia, South Carolina to take on the Gamecocks. South Carolina favored by 3 at home.
Wow, this is going to be, it's not going to mean much in the standings, and doesn't generate a lot of interest other than for Kentucky and South Carolina fans, but it's going to be a very close game. I'm gonna take Kentucky on this. They go in and play better than they played the last couple of ball games. Now, they had Florida beat.
Yeah, and I'm kind of relying on what I saw and what I liked from Kentucky to pick them in this one. I think they go on the road and get the job done against South Carolina. 2:30 on CBS, Ole Miss coming into Tuscaloosa. The spread is 37.5 points. I think we're both probably going to pick Alabama in this one, so I guess the primary question is, do the Crimson Tide cover in this game?
It's going to be very, very difficult to cover 37.5 points. Joe, I don't. Even though I think Alabama's going to win and win big, Saban is not the type guy that really goes out to run the score up on people. He just doesn't. He doesn't do it. I'm going to say 37.5 points. Gosh, I got to think Ole Miss stays within 37 points of them.
I hope so. I just don't personally see it happening. I think the Tide train keeps humming along the passing game, and I think Nick Saban's going to go into this one, though, really wanting to establish the running game, because that's probably the one thing on offense that we haven't seen at an elite level yet is the running game, and of course Nick Saban has to have that. We talk about balance, and it may not matter for this Alabama team because of just how prolific the quarterback and the wide receivers are, but I think Alabama will cover in this one. So there you go. Look at the top games from around the landscape of college football. Final timeout, and we'll come back to wrap up another week and set you up for the weekend ahead. Back in a moment, talk football with Coach K, ESPN Pensacola, 1330, 99.1 FM.
I'm attorney Stephen Luongo with Levin, Papantonio, Thomas, Mitchell, Rafferty, and Proctor in Pensacola, Florida. Distracted driving is a dangerous epidemic on America's roadways. In 2016 alone, over 3,000 people were killed in motor vehicle crashes involving distracted drivers. This according to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. For more information, please visit us today online at levinlaw.com. Please be safe on the roadways. Stop the text, stop the wrecks.
When you're looking for a great deal on a reliable new or certified pre-owned vehicle, you can't beat Bob Tyler Toyota in Car City, Pensacola. Bob Tyler Toyota has the best selection in town at incredible low prices. You can check out their amazing inventory from Camrys to Tundra trucks to 4Runners. It's all at Bob Tyler Toyota, and you can find it online at bobtylertoyota.com. Also score a touchdown this football season with the car of your dreams. Again, it's only at Bob Tyler Toyota in Car City, Pensacola.
Dude, it's game day, and I'm fired up that football is back.
I know, but I'm bummed they don't show my favorite team on TV around here.
All right, well, what about that place Calvert's? They're a really cool English pub-style restaurant, and they have a really good drink menu.
Yeah, but what about the game?
Don't worry, they have the NFL Sunday ticket and plenty of TVs, so we can watch any game that we want.
Ooh, I just looked at the menu, and that Abbey Road burger is calling my name.
Calvert's in the Heights Restaurant and Bar, 3102 East Urbana Street, calvertsintheheights.com.
There's only one place in town for the lowest prices and greatest selection of firearms. Pensacola Indoor Shooting Range. Visit our fully stocked Gun Pro Shop for new and used firearms, accessories, and ammunition. Check out the Indoor Shooting Range. We offer rentals on guns, including fully automatic machine guns and silencers. Ladies, this is the safe place to learn how to use a gun. Plus, Tuesday is Ladies' Day. Women shoot for half price all day. The best place to buy firearms in Pensacola. Pensacola Indoor Shooting Range, Highway 29 in Car City.
All right, it's time for some straight talk. You wouldn't pay $100 for seats to a baseball game when you can get the same seats for $50. So why pay more on your wireless when you can get the same 4G LTE networks for up to half the cost? For $45 a month, get our unlimited plan with 25 gigs of high-speed data from Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, only at Walmart.
Savings may vary. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
An Epix original series. He was a legend, Bumpy, from the co-creator of Narcos and executive music director Swizz Beatz.
What we gonna do, Bump? Get loud and boisterous.
Inspired by the story of infamous crime boss Bumpy Johnson.
Times have changed. I haven't.
Bumpy Johnson is a criminal.
There's one thing that you didn't count on. Me. Hallelujah, I'm the driver. This is our war of independence.
Forrest Whitaker is
Harlem is mine.
Godfather of Harlem. Series premiere Sunday. Epix. Get the channel or get the app.
Coming up Monday, recapping Cowboys Saints and all of the Week 4 action, plus taking a look ahead to Week 4's finale on Monday night. Also, the baseball postseason is here. All that and who won the weekend. Mulligan Week on Monday, 6 Eastern, ESPN Radio, ESPN2.
ESPN Pensacola is now on 1330 FM 99.1.
We're still doing this, right? This is actually happening. We're going to let this happen.
You can also listen anywhere. ESPNpensacola.com.
You're listening to Pensacola's local and ESPN sports station. Your favorite ESPN radio shows, plus high school and UWF Argo football. ESPN Pensacola 1330.
Happy Football Friday. ESPN Pensacola 1330, 99.1 FM. Joe Ford and Coach K wrapping up the hour here. as we've spent most of our time looking ahead to this weekend's games, making our picks. Do remind you, our ESPN High School Football Game of the Week tonight is out at Pensacola High School, as the Tigers will be taking on Pine Forest. I am headed out of town, so Justin Patrick will have the call for you. Again, that starts at 7 o'clock right here on ESPN Pensacola. Coach, as we look ahead to some of the big storylines that we've really been focusing on, to me, looking at the NFL, you got a pair of 3-0 teams doing battle this weekend. But, you know, the Cleveland Browns, 1-2, things haven't started off right. We talked a lot about in the offseason and leading into the season about could things spiral out of control very quickly if things don't get off to the good start that everybody was hoping for. The Browns' schedule is not going to get much better, if at all, after the Ravens here. It's going to be, as you said, kind of like it's going to be a war. It's going to be a battle, the Ravens at home against the Browns. Are we going to come in here on Monday with more drama to talk about with the Cleveland Browns?
Well, we could very well. You know, they've got all the ingredients, and we've talked about this. But despite all this, I still think they have a chance to pull this out. They've got a great opportunity in the division that they're in. But this week would have been an ideal time for them to be on schedule and go beat the Ravens. I don't think that's going to happen. But here's the problem they have, I think. They have some divas on their football team. And they've got a young man at quarterback right now that I like a lot. I mean, I think he's got some football magic in him. I think he's one of those it guys. I think he's got a football savvy, I call it. And he can make some plays. He can do something. But he needs to be quiet. He's too full of himself right now. And I noticed that he's got all these TV ads.
Yeah.
You know.
He's mowing the lawn
He's mowing the lawn. He's doing a lot of things.
Yeah.
So what he needs to do is just prepare to play like an NFL quarterback, and he is not playing like an NFL quarterback now, far from it. He's got to get to that point very quickly.
A lot of great games this weekend, both in the college realm and NFL. So you enjoy your football watching weekend, Coach. I will do the same, and we'll be back on Monday ready to break down everything we saw. Talk football with Coach K, ESPN Pensacola 1330.
Football season has arrived, and ESPN Pensacola 1330 AM 99.1 FM is where the action is. Bringing your high school football every Friday night, UWF football on Saturdays, and the NFL on Sundays. If you would like to partner with ESPN Pensacola as a sponsor or promotional partner, give us a call at 262-6000.
ESPN Pensacola 1330 AM 99.1 FM.